Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bald and Bonkers Show. Join your hosts Christopher Mole and Dakota Franson as they take you on a wild ride through the world of the supernatural, with a humorous twist that'll have you laughing and shaking in your boots at the same time. From ghosts to aliens to cryptids, no topic is off limits on this show. And the best part? You don't have to be a believer to join in on the fun. So grab a drink, kick back, and tune in every weekend for new episodes. And if you want even more of the Bald and Bonkers experience, be sure to subscribe to our Patreon page for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Let's get weird. Oh, and for the whiners out there, viewer discretion is advised. There you go, you entitled pricks.
Speaking of entitled prick, there's one right there. Chris, you're still muted, bro.
And you did me before the live. I was blowing my snoot. That's terrible.
You were blowing your
I was just
what?
going to say for all the people. I was blowing something, but anyway, I'll tell you something now. I was blowing my nose, right? Just my nose, right? I was just going to say for all the people that said that this, I would never, my podcast would work out. I would just like to say you're a bunch of entitled pricks.
Right.
So, how's things this Saturday night?
Saturday night, Memorial Day weekend, extra long weekend. I say pretty good.
Well, we've got our first person in the chat there, Christine. Let's welcome everybody into the room, Christine. By the way, if you're all wondering, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on the sweets tonight. You know?
What he also calls crack.
Oh, Gab. Oh, okay, Gab.
Oh Lord. Well, maybe you jumping around will help keep the snipers off of your position, considering what we're talking about this weekend.
CIA, NSA, or whatever your names is. There's no point coming to the UK, to Scotland. It's easier just killing. You know, it's easier just taking the snake's head off. You know, just visit Dakota instead. You know. Oh, it's been gone. No. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now looking for a co-host for Bald and Bonkers.
Because he's getting fired.
See, that's an interesting subject tonight, Dakota. And it is a kind of dodgy subject tonight.
Oh, yeah. JFK, Marilyn Monroe, the McAfee guy, the doctor that's been making around on social media lately, several actors. All dying under suspicious circumstances that can't help you but wonder, did someone take them out?
I think somebody did take them out. Especially that doctor on TikTok. I mean, he's been speaking up against COVID for all... I'm going to mention it, COVID, but I'm not obviously mentioning the vaccine. Well, I've mentioned it now, but that's a bit late now. But there you go. It's a story for another time, as Mike would say. But anyway, that guy kept saying that he was being followed, right? He kept saying that there was somebody following them. He says that he was getting weird emails and he was told by the establishment to stop telling people about the vaccine, right? And then he says he get death threats saying they were going to kill him. And then 2 days ago, he was found dead in his apartment. Poisoned.
I think more than 2 days ago, but still.
I was about what, 3 days ago? 3 days ago, 4 days ago, not about then. But that's the thing. Do you speak up about things now and then get decapitated? With one would say that's what they're doing. They take you out. So you look at other people, but you look at other people that are still alive, like David Icke. How has he got away with it for so long?
You gotta wonder if David Icke purposely spills a BS story every now and then just to keep his safety.
To make folk think that he's a raving lunatic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it. I mean, Elena's had suspicious people come on and start harassing her because of the things she talks about.
See,
hell, Bob Marley. Bob Marley's another one where he was saying that somebody was trying to kill him for years, but he was going to be fine at least until he was like, 36? And when did he die?
Yeah. It's Look, Marilyn Monroe, that's an interesting one. I think she knew stuff. I think she knew stuff about aliens. I definitely think she knew stuff about aliens. I definitely knew that. And she was going to go public with that and basically pop the overdosed her and made it look like a suicide. It's getting ridiculous now though. Okay, I mean you can't really say nothing. I mean there's a lot of people just disappeared today. Okay, what I find interesting, and I don't know if I don't know. See that guy that done the shooting thing no that long ago? Was it the free energy thing that he designed? You were talking about.
Are you talking about the guy that was showing the hydrogen conversion for cars that could help your car run on nothing but salt water?
Yeah.
A lot of people found it funny that he was also a victim in a mass shooting that took place in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
When a similar story comes out, a guy who invents a car completely runs on water.
Mm-hmm.
What were his last words? They poisoned me.
Yeah. But he's another person, right? And I'm amazed they hasn't been taken out as Dr. Stephen Greer.
Well, he has had people try.
But I'm amazed. I think, and this is where it's got to go crazy, right? I think he's got otherworldly protection. Do you know that? And I think certain people, I think certain people in the UFO community have got protection from our little, I call them the little green friends, but they're not actually green, they're different colours. But I think they protect the very important people. Look at Elena. I bet she's got beings running about her protecting her.
Oh yeah, she has an overprotective brother.
Yeah. So, and it's the same goes for you too, because some of the stuff that you've come out with is mind blowing.
Oh, did you just catch the video I dropped today?
I've no watched it. That what I usually do after the show, I watch things back with my headphones on. But what was that about? Like, was he got to come to your house and take you away?
Well, obviously, with a lot of the stuff that's been going on, I've been having to go back and revisit a lot of stuff, and this was actually an incident you were a part of. Yeah. Not directly, but I also did, I did modify the sound in order to respect the privacy of those involved.
Yeah.
I released the tapes I had of certain attacks. That happened right around when we first met.
I'll watch that. I'll listen to that back tonight then. I'd just like to say to everybody in the chat, thank you for coming in. Stephanie and look at Stephen there. And Dobby Sock, it's good to see you in there. I mean, Dobby in the chat, she's a thing about this, and she probably knows about that. That top doctor, Dobby, the COVID one on TikTok was basically took out through the week, and he's been saying for years saying for the last 2 years ever since the outbreak that they were after him. I mean, Did you watch that video, the last video that he did? I mean, that's some crazy stuff that he was going on about. I mean, it was basically, obviously I can't mention the name and the algorithm and that, but I'm not monetized anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But he was actually saying that the genetic makeup of whatever you've had, right, it's in your body, right, will be activated with a certain frequency, number 5, and it will basically turn you into a ravenous-based zombie, like a, what do you call it, like 28 days later, kind of thing. And there's actually, I know this is going down the rabbit hole here, but there's actually proof out there that the US government have practiced for an event like this. So is the British government, and so is other governments in the world, like a rage virus type thing. And it just makes you wonder, because that was his last video, and then he died.
It certainly does make you wonder, because, he would go on that, YouTube would start taking down his material. even though it was completely scientifically backed, trying to say it went against violated community standards, there all of a sudden certain institutions stopped talking to him, all this stuff, and it's just like, why is someone who was one of the most, who was fairly well respected and well credentialed in his field of expertise, all of a sudden gets shut out with no probable cause? Now, I would understand if it came out that he was a pedophile and just they started stripping away all the time. That makes sense, but that didn't happen.
But it's more worrying that the fact was his last video says that the JAG thing, when it gets into this frequency, mobile network number 5, comes into contact with us, it basically turns you into like a zombie type creature that it's like a rage. It's like the film Cell kind of thing. I mean, did you not find that disturbing? Do you not find that disturbing that was his last video? And then
it certainly does make you wonder. Certainly does make you wonder.
I mean, God. I mean, it's not just him. Look at that. Look at that boy that disappeared. The one was it the one in somewhere in Europe? Was it Russia? And he was drawing things all over his walls. Yeah, and he drew all his walls, his ceiling, everything in the room was white walls, and he drew these weird like things that obviously look quite alien, and it just poof disappeared.
Yeah, his first name was Boris. I'm not even going to attempt his last name if this is the same one you're talking about, but yeah, he had some very interesting claims that he used to be a 9-foot tall Martian, that there was still life on Mars, but they were mostly underground and their life support systems were failing. That there was a switch behind one of the ears of the Sphinx, and if it got activated, the Sphinx would open up, which that's actually been proven true, that behind one of the ears there is a certain cavern.
That's right. Just got to say to Dobby's sock in the chat, you can mention the name in the chat, Dobby, if you want. Tell Drew who that doctor was. Anyway,
please do, because I don't think we would be able to pronounce his name right.
Nah, I can't pronounce his name either. I can't pronounce it. But here's the pyramids. The pyramids, I don't right. And that's I've heard so many different tales about this, and I want your thoughts about this, Dakota. See the Sphinx at the front of the Great Pyramid. I was told, right, and I actually
Rashid Buttar, that's right.
Rashid Buttar, there you go. That at one time, it wasn't a human's face.
Yeah, it used to be more of a lion.
Right?
Yeah, Napoleon shot it off.
Yeah.
I believe
so
it was.
It makes, what was in the hatch at the back then?
Makes you wonder. You got to realize Egypt's history is so extensive. The time of Cleopatra had Egyptian archaeologists. There was at one point in time where they say like the area Egypt's in, every 5,000 years or so, it goes from a desert to a jungle.
Yeah.
Egypt's history is so extensive, Egypt doesn't know the full story.
Egypt's a story for another night, is a story for another time, as Mike would say. But there's a lot of things people are killed for. A lot of people. Yeah, I mean, I would love to come what happened to that guy, Boris. I would love to come where he is. Do you think he's maybe in a secret lab somewhere working for the government?
Being that a lot of his information has actually panned out to carry some weight to it, it could very well be that he's still alive. Because Boris and I are about the same age.
What about that? You know who disappeared too? There was a young boy, and where was this guy? I seen there was a video about him last night on TikTok. I was watching it and I thought, what's his name? I fell asleep, and I woke up this morning. I tried to remember the guy's name. It was he must be only about 15 right now, or 16 right now. And he was going on about how the Hadron Collider, right, transported the Earth into an alternate reality. A young boy, I can't remember his name, and how our universe was destroyed, right? And it transported the Earth into a different reality and a different, right? Obviously, it's exactly the same, but slightly different. And that was the Mandela effect that people experience, right? And this kid is only about 15 right now. Disappeared. There's nothing about him. You can't find anything out about him. Him and his family. Gone.
It's actually widely believed that because of some of the remarks that he was getting, him and his family completely cut off all their social media.
Right. I found that very interesting. That how did he know that? How did he?
There's a lot of things that make people question whether or not the Mandela effect's actually true, or whether or not people just don't pay attention to the full story of the ordeal.
See, aye, but that's the thing, right? A quick sidetrack here, right? I can remember the A-Team van, right? I obviously you can't because you're too young for that. The 80s, 90s A-Team, and my brother in the chat there, and Dobby Sock, or whoever, Christine, or whatever, ever watched the A-Team. I can remember the van being black and red. It was black with a red stripe, right? See now, it's black, grey with a red stripe. It was never black and grey with a red stripe. It was always black with a red stripe. So, and there's other things too that changes, like the Monopoly man. He had a monocle. I know he had a monocle. He had a monocle. I can picture the box in my head because I used to play Monopoly with my brother when I was young, a wee boy, and I used to play it with my friends and stuff like that. And I can remember that Monopoly man with a monocle. Doesn't have a monocle. There you go. There's Christian has the A-Team van on DVD. Aye, but see when you watch it now, it's black, grey with a red stripe. Whereas, see if you go back, there is footage out there. Early footage yet, and it's black with a red stripe.
You have to consider whenever production utilizes a vehicle like that, they never have just one vehicle.
I know.
There could also be early test footage that accidentally made it into the final cut, as well as the quality of the TVs back then.
Mm-hmm. All right, and what about the Monopoly man with the monocle? Explain that.
I do believe I've seen some sort of cartoon with him. It wasn't directly affiliated with Monopoly, but it was like some sort of parody, like some sort of Family Guy.
What about Magic Mirror on the wall? Who's the fairest of them all? Right? You get what I'm talking about there? No, it's not there. It doesn't say that anymore. It's totally changed. It was Magic Mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all? But it's not that anymore. It's something like Mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest on the wall? It's totally changed again. It's totally changed. And it's the same with Darth Vader, with his son. Well, old Luke, hanging off the edge, with missing Han.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then there's Forrest Gump. It would just, this is a story for another time, and this is a thing for another time. We need to get an expert on. I'm going to hunt for one. I'm going to hunt for an expert about the Mandela effect. So, Dakota, who else has disappeared? What other person has disappeared?
See, he jumps around so much.
Well, I'm jumping out. We're talking about people. We're talking about deaths by conspiracies. We're talking about the Mandela effect. I'm trying to jump back onto deaths with conspiracies.
Oh, we gotta work on our segue better, man. My God.
I know. Well, come on then. What?
You just fucking distracted me with that bullshit. Now, God damn it.
Come on. Look at this. See, this is ladies and gentlemen. This is the professional I have to work with.
Y'all say I'm the one not professional. I'm talking about you and some of the other people that you've been associated with.
For our last show on Sunday, last Sunday, and our show went absolutely mad. I got loads of messages for people saying they absolutely loved it. They absolutely loved it. I still can't find that alien either, the one that looks like the big thing. I think that's the Mandela.
Considering how old that film was, you may not be able to. Considering.
Yeah. So it's definitely conspiracies. Dakota, come on, man. We're ready. Go in there.
No, I'm not. You fucking distracted me. God damn it. Right, I need a new co-host.
What?
I need a new co-host. We're breaking up Bald and Bonkers.
What about the guy? Let's talk about Marilyn Monroe. What do you know about
All right. Well,
that'll help you. Help him.
It's like people say I'm ADHD. My fucking God. Why does it look like I'm wearing lipstick? God damn.
When do you go? On a disco?
Anyway.
Because you young kids don't have discos anymore. He's in it there like raves and stuff like that.
No, we're not. Oh, I'm not. But then again, I don't know what's going on with these younger kids. My God.
Oh my
anyway,
God,
Marilyn Monroe.
For another time.
We're trying to go back into this and try to maintain some sort of level of seriousness.
Serious.
So we can actually have a fucking intellectual discussion here. Bullshit. Shove it up your ass.
You obviously you forgot your lines, man. You forgot your lines.
I don't even know. I'm kind of ticked off right now. I'm getting kind of ticked off right now, to be completely honest.
Right. Marilyn Monroe. Why do you think she was assassinated? Or she says, obviously, she wasn't assassinated. Because she killed herself.
She knew things from sleeping with both of the Kennedy brothers. Easy.
Right.
Pillow talk speaks, man. Not like you would know.
Exactly. Either you either. See, everybody in the chat loves this banter. See what I'm saying?
Don't encourage him.
Come on, everybody. Everybody say yes in the chat.
Fuck off.
Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We're all just having a laugh. That's what we do. We're bald and bonkers.
All right. Anyway.
Nick, come on.
But no, she Marilyn Monroe. I already said it. She was sleeping around. She knew she got some information from both the Kennedy brothers, who obviously didn't have enough. It's all over the place. Cuban Missile Crisis, UFOs. Kennedy was allegedly trying to reveal that ET was out there weeks before his assassination. He was involved with trying to take care of the cartels, things like that. See, Marilyn did the one thing that every woman knows. She redirected all the blood flow to the wrong head and the man's body in order to get all of his dirty little secrets.
I bet she
witchcraft.
I bet she knew.
Them blondes, man.
I think she tried to blackmail him. I really do think she tried to blackmail him. And it backfired.
Actually, there is actually declassified documents that detail Marilyn Monroe. She was saying, "I am going to come out with this." It wasn't necessarily a situation where she was trying to blackmail.
Mm-hmm.
She was just saying, "I'm talking, and you can't stop me." Well, they did.
Yeah. And it's like everything goes. I mean, I would have loved to have known what she knew. I think it must have been something important for them to do that. I mean, she was a movie star, and she was like, fuck fake. She was
just
famous.
The fact that she was sleeping around with the president earned her the rank of being monitored by the Secret Service.
See, this is interesting because this takes us into Hollywood. See, that's a better say.
This.
And I mean, you've got Hollywood. Was it people in Hollywood that had other people murdered? This is maybe no the government we're talking about here. That's maybe we're talking about secret societies.
Well, we don't even have to go that far down the rabbit hole. Let's take situations like Kurt Cobain.
That's
That wasn't his handwriting on the suicide note.
no.
It sure as shit looked an awful lot like Courtney Love's. And there was a dude separate. He was wanting to break up the band. He was wanting to quit, and she wasn't not liking not having that money coming in.
That's
And it's not the first time that some Hollywood celebrity had a significant other kill him or try to kill him. One of my mom's favorite singers, Trace Atkins, his ex-wife shot him.
remember about was it about maybe 5 years ago? I can't remember exactly. Who was that famous? She was a talk show host, and there's video out there on TikTok, and you see her in the back of the ambulance, and the reporters are like, she died, and you see her try to get up and stuff, and people are like,
God, what was her name? What was her name?
oh, what was that?
Now I know which one you're talking about now. It's like, yeah,
I forgot.
yeah, they're rolling her back into the ambulance, and all of a sudden, she's sitting up. Now, there's a thing known as the Lazarus reflex,
Yes.
where if you stimulate certain nerves enough, especially with a car crash victim, depending on how severe her injuries were, you stimulate certain nerves, you can make a dead body move by itself. They can sometimes, fold their arms like that, or flat out, and hesh. Yes.
But if you watch the video of that, I wish we could play it on here. If you watch the video of that, you can see her hand, this one, going over and pulling the cover. See that silver foil stuff that he is, pulling it over and then trying to get up.
Yeah, she wasn't necessarily a talk show host. She'd been on them, quite a few, but she was an actress.
But she was. It's not just that. She was convinced that somebody was trying to kill her. She was in multiple car accidents. And then they said she was drinking too much and she was taking too many pills and that's why it was and stuff. I honestly think, I don't think it was the government that killed her. I think it was, I honestly think it was somebody in Hollywood that had her murdered. I think she knew too much.
Allegedly, she was trying to go into a documentary about Hollywood pedophile rings.
Yeah. It's all coming out now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you talk about that island. What's his name?
Epstein's Island, Pleasure
I see
Island.
that they suspect that. Go and research this, ladies and gentlemen. They suspect that Epstein was trying to blackmail Bill Gates. That's an interesting one. Very
Here's
interesting.
The thing. You know how there's those conspiracies about Hollywood films predicting certain things?
Yes, I've seen that.
Well, here's the thing. The original Pinocchio cartoon.
Good God, that's an old one.
Now, think about it.
Right.
There's a bit in it where these characters are talking to this old man, and he's talking about taking misbehaving young boys and making them disappear to Pleasure Island.
Yes.
Disney Cruises made frequent stops at Epstein's Island. Disney World has been under a lot of scrutiny right now because of the number of pedophile rings that have been found to be associated with it. And did you know how Disney actors are initially trained for the job? Their first day of work, what they have to do?
Yeah.
Now, this is actually coming from former Disney actors themselves.
Yeah.
They have somebody who watches them throughout the day, just to kind of see how they interact with the public, right?
Mm-hmm. And then they go up.
To walk up to kids that are all by themselves and get them to talk to them. Hello? Isn't that the first thing we go to look for when some creep is trying to eyeball a young kid in the grocery store?
Yeah. But it's actually interesting if you watch some of the cartoons back, the old ones back, right? Some of the things in it, you'll just be sitting there with your mouth open. Guys, I don't want to get into this because we don't want to sued, obviously, and stuff like that, but go and watch some of the old Walt Disney cartoons. You'll find them on YouTube, right?
Oh, we mentioned it before on the show.
And see if you watch it, you're like, oh my God, the symbolism and the meaning to pedophile rings, and I can't even watch any cartoons anymore. Well, there's cartoons anymore because you see it everywhere now. Once you see what I'm talking about, right? That's it. You cannot get this out your head. Every time you watch a cartoon, maybe Walt Disney, you'll be like, "Oh my God, this is terrible."
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere.
Disney was a well-known Nazi supporter.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Not a lot of people realize Walt Disney, the man himself, was a Nazi supporter. Which is kind of ironic considering several Disney characters are actually have legitimate military files that you have to put special permissions for in order to access them, actual military ranks, because of the anti-Nazi propaganda they used to produce.
Yeah.
There's some people out there pissed off that Donald Duck has a higher ranking than them.
I know people that are going to Disney World for holidays, and I think they're raving lunatics because of what it stands for. I can't exactly what Disney World stands for. And
You don't get to be that big of a company without burying some people.
Mr. Walt Disney was into a lot of strange things,
Yeah, it was.
and it's proven. It's proven what he was into and what he did.
Then you got Club 33.
I've heard about that. I've never looked it up. Though. What is that? Wouldn't explain it.
Allegedly, it's connected to like Freemasons. It's an very exclusive club that's inside, I think, Disneyland, whatever one's inside California. There's, I believe it was like a $30,000 annual membership fee.
Right.
And several high-profile celebrities are involved. Tom Hanks, I think Tim Allen was a part of it at some point.
Tom Hanks is...
Yeah, he's also named in Epstein files. Now,
Yeah.
Now, granted, there's some people that pointed out, okay, he was a well-connected guy who had access to a plane, and he was offering free rides. That could very well be why all those people were on that plane. They may have not known. However, several senators, several actors have come forward saying, yeah, we knew that he was up to something. We didn't know the extent, maybe.
What's that? I'm trying to look his name up. It's just popped into my head the new there. That actor, he was a child actor, and he came out and he said about the people raping him in Hollywood.
Corey Good,
that's it. Corey, that's him, because he was in Lost Boys. Yeah, that's
Goonies.
The one. The Goonies and the Goonies 2. And he came out about it.
And he had people trying to... Oh, yeah, because he had people try to take him out. Literally on his way to interviews.
Yeah. Can you get him for the show? I'm going to message him.
Yeah, another one we should probably... I should try to reach out to that guy who was former CIA again and see if he's available.
Oh.
I think that would be an interesting conversation. People are probably like, "You're talking to the CIA?" Oh my god!
Don't worry. We've only going to sacrifice one of these in the chat. That's all.
Hey, it's like, first off, if you really want to freak out, ladies and gentlemen, some of my business teachers were former FBI agents.
Yeah.
So, and no, true story.
It would make you wonder that you don't think that the American government, like the FBI, would investigate these people?
They tried.
In Hollywood.
They tried, but somebody keeps shutting them down.
So it's obviously somebody with power. I mean, let's just take your president, for instance. He's an interesting character, isn't he?
There was investigations going into Biden that got shut down.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, the FBI corrupt, NSA corrupt, CIA is corrupt." Everybody's got some corrupt assholes. Because when you get to a certain number or group, you're going,
Hunter Biden, laptop. It's absolutely shocking. It really is. That these things it's these things are allowed to happen. And I mean, maybe in the history books in 100 years or 200 years from now, when things will hopefully get better, things will come out about who these people were in Hollywood and what they were doing to poor people. What's that in the chat there? October, what do you think about the Paul McCartney conspiracy and Club 27 or Club 27?
God, I think I know the Paul McCartney one she's talking about. That the Paul McCartney that we know today isn't actually him, but
I've heard
fill-in. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, yeah, they all got flagged. In fact, they all had in profiles within the FBI.
It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder.
Not a lot of people realize. Here's another popular one. Martin Luther King Jr. Not a lot of people realize that the U.S. government was found guilty in a civil court of being the cause behind his death.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who was able to rack up a major following like that, they got monitored. Why?
It's like President Kennedy. People say, "Oh, that was Diana." Yeah,
Diana's another one.
Diana. I'm going to say this, right? I'm British citizen for the UK. I'm for Scotland, obviously. I'm going to say this out loud, and I don't give a fuck. Listen, I think she was done in.
Diana knew.
I remember that night. I remember when it happened. And I can remember the news presenter on TV, right? And the news presenter's the woman, she's like that. She says, Diana's okay. She walked out of the wreckage and she's absolutely fine. She's been took to the local hospital. She walked out of the wreckage. Half an hour later. Oh, she died in the car. Yeah, I think it was covered up. I think the Crown covered it up.
Well,
I honestly do.
There's interviews with Diana saying that she fully believed they were going to try to kill her.
Yeah,
because she didn't like following their rules.
I've heard details lately, and I don't know if they're true or no, because you'll never prove these things. See how you've got the King Charles, and then you've got his two boys. You've got the one that went to America and he brought that book out where he was talking all the shit about folk and that.
Mm-hmm.
They say that he knows what really happened to his mother.
That's the whole reason why he's been fighting the family.
Yeah.
Because he found out. And by all means, if that's actually the case, good on him.
Yeah. Yeah. But he can't talk, because if he does, something might happen to him.
Or his kid.
Or his kid, exactly.
Because we got to think about it. These elites, they have well established, well over history, that they have no problem hurting kids.
Yeah. See, this is an interesting fact. There was I'm not mentioning his name, there was a guy that investigated Diana, the crash, and he was approached by these people. He doesn't know who they were just high up people. And they says to him, he says, if you can keep doing this road, you might end up the same way. And he stopped, because they threatened his family and stuff like that. The Crown actually got the MI5 or MI6 or whoever they were to investigate that. But we all know that it was covered up and it was swept under the carpet. Yeah, I mean, I truly believe that it was either the Queen or it was Charles that signed the thing for it. I really do.
Yeah.
And it will come out, but it'll not come out for a couple of 100 years, probably.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's a lot of circles right now who claim to be insiders with the secret space programs, all of these government projects. All of them say pretty unanimously that these people know that their time is running short.
Yes, I felt that.
So they essentially have entered plea bargains and say, we'll slowly start leaking it out, but hold off until we're gone, so we don't have to deal with the fallout.
Yeah, I've heard that Biden's been basically told that he has to release evidence, he has to release everything when our little friends from above soon. And he's been told, and people like that watching this. This is no people on Earth. This is aliens, dude. These are the Federation or that. They've told them. This is listen. You need to release. You need to. This Earth needs to. This honestly, and I don't think Biden's got long. I think he's got to die mysteriously. Do you know that? I don't know where I'm getting this from. Don't come and get me, FBI. It was him. But anyway, he's old, right? What age is Biden?
He's at least in his 80s, ain't he?
Right, he's in his 80s and he's got to run for a second time. Oh, there's Pete in the room. Mike, the naked Bigfoot son. What's that he's brought up? What's that? One of the...
Oh, fucking course he would.
Yeah, and his body cut, locked her hair, and sold them collectors. Dad got his hands on a lock of hair.
Why does that not surprise me?
Oh my God. See, the thing is, Pete, your dad is an amazing person. See the stories that he would tell me about the things that he collected? The things that he collected. My God.
I mean, no disrespect, but that does not surprise me about Mike whatsoever.
It doesn't surprise me either. It really doesn't. I mean, after him telling me about how he dug up somebody for one of their back molars. And
yeah,
he did a favour for a priest. He did a favour for a priest for an exorcist ring. Then I'd be running around about the graveyard. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought my life was strange.
I know.
Oh well, I'm only in my 20s, so there's still time.
You never know. You never know. A priest might come up to you and say, Dakota, I will give you an exorcist ring, but I want you to run around the graveyard, dancing wildly, naked.
I know a couple of priests around here that would do that just for a fucking laugh.
If you're watching this, please make him do it. Offer him something nice, like a wee shiny ring or something like that.
I have one.
Yeah, you got an exorcist ring? Where'd you get that for?
A priest that actually taught me how to conduct exorcism rituals.
But
under the Catholic way. I know like 27 different exorcism rituals.
I mean, I've seen a lot of like top psychics on TV, a lot of the fake ones, to be put honest with you. I've said, oh yes, Diana crashed into the wall and died just about instantly. Oh. And stuff like that. And you can tell that they're fake because I can folk. Honestly, I definitely think 99% she was murdered.
You know, there's been something I brought up several times on the show that I fully believe would be one of the most tide-turning, world-changing innovations that completely that would change the game when it comes to these types of investigations. You've heard of how, I've mentioned that there's actually a university. It was a University of Hong Kong that was working on tech that would allow computers to be able to read what the mind sees, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They use fMRI technology, and basically, unfortunately, the images that came out sucked. They looked like what you would see out of beer goggles. But guess what the recent change just got applied to it? That instead of maybe 5% accuracy and jumped it to about 85% accurate.
Yeah.
They started integrating artificial intelligence. Yeah. And oh my God. Can you imagine strapping some of the most outlandish people out there, good or bad, who can either prove that they are legitimately telling their story or completely faking it? Can you just imagine what that's going to do once that tech gets perfected? Mm-hmm. How much of this stuff would we be able to prove?
Or what about when the artificial intelligence finally takes over? And if you're a threat and you're coming out with stuff, it decides to have you.
Well, here's the thing. How do we know that the AI wouldn't try to out this information itself?
That's true.
I mean, think about it. There's been AI programs that were told to go through scientific papers, and it would the AI ended up making like 500 discoveries within a matter of hours. They started using AI for planetary watches, and thousands of more potential planets have been identified.
Yeah.
There is such a leap in technology going on right now that those who are trying to trying to just flat out kill the people that step up, they can't keep up.
I find it interesting with artificial intelligence how they've got a supercomputer designing another supercomputer, which is quite interesting. It's like some of the artificial intelligence is helping make cures for cancer and stuff.
Oh yeah,
which is really interesting. But then what happens if the computer decides, oh yes, this drug will, if everybody gets it, will cure all ailments from your body. Everybody gets it and they drop down dead.
Depends on how the AI's interprets its goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the whole laws of robotics thing, you got to consider that was out of a science fiction book. That does not have to. Robotic programs aren't necessarily going to follow that. Elon Musk even said it itself. If a construction crew comes across a molehill while trying to build a highway, are they going to stop just to save that molehill?
Probably not.
No, they're going to build right over it.
Yeah. It's like people that are getting murdered because of what they know. It's the same kind of thing. Think about it.
Or the number of cases where innocent people are fallen victim to flat-out genocide because of a corrupt political leader.
Yeah.
And no, I just don't mean that weirdo that's trying to claim he's Adolf Hitler.
That's just.
No, I'm talking about things that you never hear about because there's some village in Africa that's completely decimated by mercenaries just so they can build some sort of...
Yeah.
They can farm uranium that was found or something like that.
Look, the world's totally corrupt, and it's going to keep that way. Look at what's happening in the world right now with Europe, and look what's happening with your president and my prime minister and stuff like that. We're edging closer and closer to like a third world war. In fact, I would say we're in the third world war now. We're just waiting. And that's what I'm going to say this now. I can't wait till Donald Trump comes back because hopefully he'll save us. Because that guy that is in the White House now, oh my God, I watched him the other day. He came out the plane waving at everybody, and there was nobody there except for his driver and some folk. He's away. He's gone. How in God's name? If that was Donald Trump that was in power right now, right, and he was going all doted and dementias like that, they would have him out of the office.
Yeah.
If that
were anybody else, think about it. I mean, honestly, screw politics. I mean, something's not right. He's showing all the signs of Alzheimer's, that some sort of dementia is starting to kick in.
I'll tell you something new. I think he's got a double. Do you know that? Because there's days where he goes out and he's going on about his garden getting lost and stuff like that, and he does a wee speech now and again, and he makes a total absolute arse of it, right? But then look, the next day he's away to like some car plant that's right, and he does a speech and he looks slightly different and he sounds fine. I honestly think he's got doubles running about. I really do.
Allegedly, the U.S. and I do believe the British government as well have utilized body doubles for public events since Reagan, if I'm not mistaken.
It's just
so that way, if the double ends up dead, they get one hell of a paycheck. But if the double ends up dead, they just say, "Oh, the doctors did miraculous work. He's okay. He's a little stressed under the ordeal, but he's okay. Expected to make a full recovery." Everybody just goes, "Wow, good job."
I was just
not realizing there's some guy just died.
It must have been, you brought it up on the screen. I never got to read it right, but when Pete said about his dad, Mike the Naked Bigfoot, it says it's all of that stuff's in this black cabinet. God, I would love a look in that cabinet, wouldn't you?
Would you?
Oh, I wouldn't touch it.
I mean, not just looking at it, considering just the first instance we met Mike, how weird things got.
Right, I will admit, he did a live one night. Where he was showing this bit of cement brick that he got for when he was away, when he was like in somewhere, right? But it was because he was helping knocking down a house or something, and he didn't know at the time, but he taken this bit like a mask. It was like a wee mask kind of thing. He taken this, and I had weird funky dreams after watching that live. And I told Mike that. I said, what was with that mask? And he says, some folk see it. Mm-hmm. So, really weird dreams. I was running through the jungle and there was this mask. It was weird. And I know I wouldn't like to look in it, but can you imagine the power that's in that cabinet? God be with you, Pete. God be with you.
You're right.
You know, what's that? October, he sounds like his brain is glitching, Biden, and I mean, oh, I know. Yeah. What?
None.
No, what is it?
None.
I thought I heard is it the aliens? They're coming to take you away.
Something's disturbing the dogs outside.
It's weird you said that because my dog down the stairs is barking now. She stopped. She's barking down the stairs and I can hear her. That's interesting. That is. It's weird that it's something annoying your dog and mine at the same time, isn't it? She's stopped now.
Mine, the ones outside, just stopped.
That's strange. That.
Well, wouldn't be the first time we haven't seen something like that happen.
Ooh, we're talking about mics and that mask and stuff like that. You're going to get a visitation tonight.
Yeah, what else is new?
Oh, mind you, oh, it's an interesting thing about these people disappearing and dying and it's not going to stop. It's just going to keep going on. Like the guy invented water in your engine and stuff. How great would that be? Your F-150, you fill the tank up with some water and drive along the road with a conversion kit. Get what I mean?
Fuck, I would put that shit in my Cadillac.
There's Dobby Sock. Dakota, you just had a shadow behind you gone now.
Now, we'll say this. It does look like we're expecting a thunderstorm tonight, and we do have a bit of wind. And I have a window open. That just blew the window curtain shut, so maybe that was it, but not surprising.
How did that happen? Did somebody shut that door for you?
No. The wind just kicked up.
No. That door it went shut. That wasn't the wind that did that.
The wind kicked up. The wind kicked up and that just hit the door.
See,
either that or one of my cats.
Cats don't shut doors. The claw.
Yes, they do. You lied.
No,
You're an idiot.
I don't have I'm not a cat person. I'm a dog person.
I've physically seen one of my cats slam the door shut to lock out the other cats just so she can hog me all to herself.
Unless you've got a visitor. Mike, is that you? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me because I'm not going into the full detail of this. I had a really, really weird experience.
Thank you, Dobby.
I'm not a cat person. I'm a dog person, as I say. I had a really weird experience about maybe 3 weeks ago, and Mike was in it, and it was weird. It was again. I can still remember every single thing of that. It's bad. I know, but honestly, it was one of these really weird dreams, and it was just so real, and I can still picture it. I'll tell you about it one day. But no, that's a story for another time, as Mike was saying.
Christopher, we had this talk about you discussing your dirty dreams on air.
I know. I can't help it, man. It was after that picture that you showed me. I was going to say something there, but then I thought I better know.
Don't you be judging me in a kilt.
A kilt, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think? Do you think Dakota should get a kilt? I can see you marching out of the hills, the new. Hi, the new. There's Christine. She wants to see you in a kilt.
No, Christine, I haven't been drinking.
No, it's because I said it's a story for another time, and everybody has a drink. I'm taking it with Mike. I'm taking it with Mike.
You two looking at Dirk? Oh, dear God, we got the women excited.
Don't be so. You better watch there. She'll be taking an attack soon, thinking about you and your kilt marching out of the hills there with your
screw that. If I was able,
if I was
able to find a kilt that was my size while I was over in Scotland, I was gonna ride it.
I don't know how you
wear it on the plane ride home.
They sell big kilts.
I just at the shop we went to, there was none my size.
If I had to send you a kilt, would you wear it for everybody for everybody to see it?
I'll pose it for OnlyFans.
Really good. So don't be so. I might send him a kilt. Don't be so, Christian. So when that day comes, it'll be an OnlyFans. You're in for a treat.
Considering that's how you've been promoting Ghost Squad Scotland?
What do you mean?
Your OnlyFans?
Ah, well, you've got to do something for the old community, you know. You've got to do something, you know.
Times are tough, I get it, you know.
I know.
Gas prices going up back again.
Gas prices going back up again, you know. That was weird, that door and the wind getting up and the dogs barking and stuff. That was just weird.
I can't believe that just worked.
Was that honestly? Was that you that shut that door? There. Open that door again.
I didn't touch it.
Open the door again.
I keep it open a crack because one of my cats.
Keep open a crack.
They'll start slamming themselves against the door.
I think you've got a visitor. I think you've got a visitor. By the way, I honestly do think you've got a visitor.
It doesn't surprise me. There's all
if you
sorts.
Can hear me, whoever you are, which I've got a conclusion who you are, do it one more time for us. Just one more time, and we'll not ask you again. Please. What?
Camera just went out of focus.
That's weird, that. You shouldn't do that for wind. What do you say? That's strange, guys. I don't think that's the wind. I think he's got a presence in that room.
I need to start busting out the K2 again.
You know, I've got a really weird feeling who that is.
It's not Mike.
Do you know? I think so.
No.
Who is it? Is it whatever happened? Mind you said there was the psychic told you about the woman.
Well, she may have crossed over, but this was her house, so she might poke her head back in it from time to time.
See, it's all coming through. Hi.
No, I was quite impressed with Anne. I mean, apparently the last owner of this house, she did pass away, and she had several breathing issues. So.
There you go. So, what's on the subject tomorrow, Dakota? What we got to be?
I'm scared to try to continue tonight's conversation, considering how much you can't keep a fucking straight topic.
Well, I've kept it straight all night. So what do you want to talk about tomorrow night? Do you want to just pick one person and just talk about what they made and they invented and how they disappeared and what happened?
No, we can go a little bit more into detail about certain cases.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, this has happened so many times, and there's so much detail behind each case that you can't really dismiss the idea that somebody got in the way.
Yeah. I found it strange tonight that your dog started barking. Well, you know your dogs in your street started barking, and so did mine at the exact same time. And then when mine stopped, they stopped, and then your door shut. I found that interesting.
Again, there's wind coming through the window.
Dogs don't bark just for the wind.
Yeah, they do.
Really? It must be strange dogs, you know.
You seriously never had that issue with Jessie?
And Jessie's down the stairs now, and she's outside my room now because I can hear her moving about. I can hear her moving about.
Looks like we're expecting a storm tonight, so...
Well, it's beautiful blue skies. See, well, it's no blue skies now because the sun's been doing it dark. I was out the back last night and I was looking up and you could actually see the satellites, which is quite interesting. It's the ones that stop and then whiz off the other way and you're like, that's not a satellite.
Yep, but a few of those been popping up lately around me.
Oh, yeah. So what are you doing the rest of the night? What's everybody in the chat doing the rest of this lovely Saturday night? What am I missing here?
Quite a bit.
But is the dogs barking again?
No. Somebody's here.
Who's coming to visit you?
Dobby's got fireworks going off. Nice.
Don't know why.
Well, y'all's...
I don't know. I don't know. There's just a weird vibe coming for your place.
Considering I was going into one of our old friends on a video I dropped earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh, I know how you're talking about. Don't mention his name.
And I even involved a recording that involved Pete's dad.
You said Pete's dad. And just as you said Pete's dad, that door shut.
Yeah. There's also a lot of wind coming through right now.
I'm going to say, I'm just, there's something weird going on tonight.
Yeah. It's called I Got a Storm Brewing.
There's a storm brewing, definitely.
And shit sometimes kicks up whenever a storm brews.
Yeah.
So, I shall report back tomorrow if anything happens.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you all tomorrow. And if he doesn't appear, we'll have like a service for you. And we will remember you. We will remember you. Was that your curtains are moving? So could be the wind eye. Well, is the one.
Yeah, you know? I know. I just had to convince him because someone over here seems to think every other little thing is supernatural some days.
I've just been having weird things that's been happening lately. Just really strange things that I can't explain. No bad things. Interesting. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got no windows opened and I've got no windows, whatever, because the midges are out. You came at the midges are in Scotland. Fiendish beasts the midges.
The what?
Midges.
The midgets?
Hi, the midgets are out.
As in, like, little people?
For fuck's sake. Midges! Midges!
Explained for the Americans.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Look, the Scottish people in the chat there. Midges. Midges.
We aired more than just Scotland, you fucking Oh. Thank you, Dobby.
It's like a cloud of them.
Fucking useless.
And it's like,
yeah, we're starting to get them here.
Aye, the midges. Aye, we've got little people, dwarfs running around about us trying to bite us when we go outside.
Some of them, I wonder. I was like, you see, the midgets. I thought you said, the midgets!
Aye, that's what happens when you're out walking the hills now. You'll see an army of midgets running towards you, trying to get you.
I'm 6'7". Most normal-sized people look like midgets to me.
I bet maybe about 30 or 40 midgets could carry you off.
God, that would be very weird. Not
You're
one of the
your
weirdest
kilt
incidents
on.
of my life.
You've got your kilt on, you're in the Scottish mountains. You're standing there and you're like, what a beautiful day it is. And all of a sudden, 30 midgets come running over the hill and carry you off to your fate.
Well, it's not fun to... It's not nice to make fun of midgets. The jokes keep going over their head.
Ladies and gentlemen, if any of you
timing, my God.
a midget, please contact Bald and Bonkers LLC. You'll find us on Google. Just type in there and you'll find a complaint form. Please fill it in.
All those messages
that's something you don't really get. That's something that you don't really get. Ghost hunting with midgets.
I think there's a group out of Florida that's got a little person with them.
Nah, but think about it. You don't really get that much, do you?
Yeah, because I don't think they.
I don't know why I'm
imagine
doing this.
themselves being.
Well,
no. Think about it. Okay. Believe it or not, I know of at least one little person that does do ghost hunting, and he was in Pirates of the Caribbean. I only know that because he has a thing on Paraflix.
But it's not something that you see as like a Zach Bagans style ghost hunting team and they're all midgets. Discovery Plus, if you're watching this, I want to see like a Zach Bagans style group and they're all midgets.
Well, let's see what Discovery Plus doesn't cancel lately.
Oh, they're cancelling that from there.
Well, a lot of shit's going down because of the Time Warner merger and the writer's strike, so I don't know, maybe we'll see some more people die from conspiracy here soon.
Yep.
So, anyway,
I think
we should probably end
tomorrow,
this.
ladies and gentlemen.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning into the Bald and Bonkers Show. If you enjoyed the show and want to show your support, head over to our website at baldandbonkers.net. There, you'll find our merch, services, and more. Thanks for being part of the Bald and Bonkers family, and we'll see you on the next episode. And remember, always keep an open mind and an open heart. You never know what may happen tomorrow.
Let's do this.
Of course.
Let's talk about Nazis.
Because if we don't, we're...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bald and Bonkers Show. Join your hosts Christopher Mole and Dakota Franson as they take you on a wild ride through the world of the supernatural, with a humorous twist that'll have you laughing and shaking in your boots at the same time. From ghosts to aliens to cryptids, no topic is off limits on this show. And the best part? You don't have to be a believer to join in on the fun. So grab a drink, kick back, and tune in every weekend for new episodes. And if you want even more of the Bald and Bonkers experience, be sure to subscribe to our Patreon page for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Let's get weird. Oh, and for the whiners out there, viewer discretion is advised. There you go, you entitled pricks.
Speaking of entitled pricks, who the fuck is fucking up my camera?
I told you to stop watching these dirty sites. You've been told about 1,000,000 times, Dakota. Purple aliens for the planet Zarn. 4-breasted ones. Bloody terrible.
That's your thing, dude. That is your fucking thing.
Look,
don't,
terrible.
dude. Why is it that you always try to live vicariously through me, man? You've got to get out more, man.
I'm just going to say it. Is get this thing with purple women for the
what?
planet.
Me? Me?
he's like, oh, I can't wait to go in the
No,
spaceship.
I had
Oh,
the fucking voice messages to prove that is all you. That is all you, you sick and twisted idiot.
I'll tell you, there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh God.
Hey, they had them in Star Trek.
They
They went to that planet. There were green ones and purple ones. Look at Kirk. Look at Kirk. He was away with the green ones, and he was away with the purple ones, and he was away with the blue ones. He stayed away from the aliens, mind you. I'll say that.
Yeah. Considering he never actually slept with one.
Oh, he did. You ever watched the new Star Trek? He did.
No. I've never actually watched Star Trek. I never watched Star Trek, like and none of them all. Haven't watched any of them.
He's no a Trekkie, ladies and gentlemen. He's no a Trekkie. That's what he is. He's one of these folk that believes in magazines. What do you call it? One of the Thor persons with his big hammer. But he's got a big hammer. DC Comics.
Yeah.
Does. No.
Whoa, you did not just do that.
Hey, Star Trek's better than DC Comics. Star Trek's better than DC Comics. I said that. What you got to do with that? Star Trek's better.
Thor is not DC.
Captain Picard, Captain Sisko, Captain Janeway. You know, William Shatner came. I mean, the best captains that ever was. You know, James Tiberius Kirk. What more could you want? I know I'm a Trekkie. I can't help it. I know their names. I could probably tell you all the ships' names too. But that's... Come on. Everybody's got to have like a hobby, something to watch.
I wonder about some of your hobbies, man.
Well, live long and prosper. So, technical problems, Dakota. Technical problems. What have you been doing? Who have you pissed off?
The Nazis, apparently.
Oh, you're pissed off the Nazis. I mean, they're diabolical at winning wars and know they're into technology.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that there's been a lot of colorful language that's been popping up in certain groups lately, and nothing's getting done about it.
What? What was it?
Oh, like slam it, calling everybody fucking Jews and Muslims and rapists, and you should be shot in the face. I'm just like,
that?
I don't know. Some person who thinks that just because they're messaging on fucking Telegram means that they're going to be anonymous. By the way, I have your IP.
Oh. Your internet dropped there.
Yeah,
You've mentioned the Nazis. Did you know that Hitler, he only had one ball?
Is that why you identify as him?
I will say this, there's folk on TikTok identifying as Adolf Hitler now. I mean, how ridiculous can you get? What? I would never make a good Hitler. I'm too nice.
You were literally dressing up, imitating his mustache, saying that you should get the wig. And you want to know what the sad thing is? You would pass off as Adolf Hitler if he was still today.
No, I wouldn't. For a start, Adolf Hitler wasn't bald. He didn't weigh the same weight as me because I'm considerably bigger than what I look like right now. Because I do like my nibbles.
Nah, in his later years out in Argentina, he did put on some weight. There's photos to back that.
So, what did you do to annoy the Nazis? Come on. They could be watching right now. The Nazis could be watching this right now. That the Diskins everywhere. Sorry, it's a wee bit of the old memories coming back for a previous life. Sorry, when you go.
See, there you go. He just admitted he thinks he's Hitler.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Well, so we got to talking about deaths by conspiracy. Then someone's forwarded me information about the World Economic Forum. My signal goes funky there again. What the hell?
Let me help you there. Klaus Schwab. Come on. Schwab.
All right, shut up. Sorry, I gotta kick him off stream sometimes just to get my fucking point across. Anyway. Yes, obviously, Klaus Schwab being the founder, main focus. some affiliations, alleged affiliations with Nazi Germany through his father, right? As well as some of the potential motivations behind financial directives that could be responsible for a lot of companies going under trying to appease woke culture, right?
I just don't know what to say about that. The Budweiser incident and now the Ford pickup truck advert. Have you seen the Ford pickup truck advert?
Oh, Ford's going into it now?
Did you not see the new one? I actually sent it to somebody we know that's right into Ford pickup trucks. And I sent it to him, and I think he was none too pleased. And it starts.
If it is who I...
you just play Xbox, but anyway,
okay.
But you never said anything back to me yet. I've still to talk to him more about. It's the two trucks race, and it looks right manly, and it's so appealing. I was sitting watching. I thought, oh, this looks good. The new F-150s look absolutely stunning, right? All pumped out and all that, and all the Ford stuff, and then another one joins in, another F-150 joins in, except it's all multicolored. And then you just watch it, ladies and gentlemen. Watch it.
I see. So, naturally, this tickled my curiosity, so I started doing a little research. Apparently, Klaus Schwab's father, he was a director for a plant out of Switzerland that was a major contractor with Nazi Germany. This is, anybody can look this up. This is verified. As well as the financial directives that the World Economic Forum passed forward to these major companies like Bud Light, and all these major companies that rely on them in order to get funding. If they don't comply with these directives, they don't get their funding. So they pretty much have to do what is being said. And Klaus Schwab has fully admitted he wants the United States to become more like China.
Yes.
Now, the Chinese people, the people, not the government, the people, very friendly. We can learn a thing or two. But still, we have all these concerns of, say, like TikTok is the Chinese government spying on us. Why aren't we doing something about Klaus Schwab? The World Economic Forum is slowly is trying to implement itself as the centerpiece of a one world government. It's already been implemented. They're already there.
You want to hear something?
Run by a private corporation. They're not run by any.
At the last World Economic Forum, there was certain bills signed by countries. And Britain, everybody in Britain, the news just finding out about this, and they're absolutely raging. Even some people in government, because they didn't know it was done behind closed doors. See if there's another pandemic. The World Health Organization can basically put us in lockdown, even though they can bring the UN in and make the population go into lockdown. You have to do what they say. It's been passed, and it's actually been passed for the United States too. Usually been passed too. So the UK, France, Germany, and the United States and Canada and Australia, they've all been passed already.
Yep. Because again, the World Economic Forum is not affiliated with any one singular country. They're their own entity.
Yeah.
The world is being run by private corporations, and this just goes to prove it.
Yeah, of course it is.
And again, while Klaus Schwab, he wasn't born until 1938, he's following Nazi ideologies.
Yeah.
And so every single person that bends over so he can fuck him in the ass, he probably gets off on it too.
Yeah.
And I find it, like I said, as I'm researching this, there's a weird camera glitch on my end that I've never had happen before. Just when we go to connect through StreamYard, and allegedly Chris has some of his security software is flagged StreamYard for some reason. So just making that as a little side note. For some reason, I can't set my webcam to its full resolution.
Nazis, man.
It's
Indiana
weird.
Jones couldn't have stood them, and I can't have stood them. You know, I mean, Nazis.
Yeah, but the whole woke culture, everybody, like you pointed out, at first glance, it doesn't necessarily make sense because everybody that the Nazis were against, everybody the Nazis were trying to completely annihilate, is all of a sudden following the same goddamn ideologies.
But it's eventually they will get rid of that. Once they get they are saying 100, saying 50 years, right? Say if everything falls into place and they get their one world government and they get their 15-minute cities, eventually they're going to sit in the room, their table, and they'll be right. Everything's fell into place. Now we need to get rid of these groups of people, and then they'll turn against them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll turn against them. They'll turn against the Jewish population again, and they'll turn against the gay homosexuals again. That's what will happen.
Gays, blacks, if anybody who is blonde haired and blue eyed.
And what they'll do is they'll play each other off until they either kill off each other, and then the last ones that's remaining, they'll kill them. That's what they're going to do.
And people are so rattled in the head that they're just going to let it happen. Oh yeah, full on Hunger Games.
Yeah.
They may just get creative, and people are just going to accept it, thinking that nothing can be done. Why do you think they want to decrease the population?
Well, by 2025, they want the world population down to what, 500 million? How they got to do that? I mean, they're going to. I mean,
that's talking major. That's talking major cataclysm.
I watched a simulation thing. There was this guy, and he does like computer simulations of like nuclear wars and stuff. And he was actually talking about this, the agenda thing, 2025. Even if everybody launched their nuclear bombs at each other, there would still be at least 3 to 4 billion people left on the planet. Yes, eventually they would starve, and it'd be down to maybe 1 billion people, right? 1 billion would be left. But the world government wanted down to 500 million. That's crazy material, and this makes you wonder. Hey, Dobby, this makes you wonder about the injections. And you think how many people have had that? You think about how we're not monetized. We're not monetized anyway, guys, so they can't really do that. So here's the thing, right? We'll have to stick up for this because we'll go down in history, and I don't want to go down in history as somebody that's tried to hide in the shadows and no say anything about this. I will say this: that injection, I think, is part of the plan.
Could very well be.
Yeah. I know since the start of the virus to this year, I know about 27 people that have died. I know 27 people that have died. And they've all had the...
I know several people who all went down for heart-related issues. And ironically, I gotta say this because I had a months-old video get taken down because I was talking about my grandma who had a heart attack, and she found it kind of funny that everyone she knew who got it right around the same time, she had to in order to, for the job she was at, they were making her do it. Everybody who went about the same time and got it was in the hospital the same time she was. And our signals are getting fucked up as we're talking about this. See, the audience is even seeing it. The audience is even seeing it.
I mean, Dobby, she plays a big part in this kind of stuff that's in the chat, and I can tell you something right now. What has been done to humanity in the last 2 years is worse than what the Germans did to the Jews. Because more people will die than what happened in World War II. A lot more people's got to die than what happened in World War II. It's too late now. See, for the people that have had... I'm sorry to say this, but see the people that have had that thing. I don't know if there's a way around about it for these. I honestly don't. I hope somebody invents a cure, but it's getting it out your system. You have to get it out your system.
But that's the thing, like we were talking about yesterday, they're wanting to start implementing the vaccine into food supply.
Yes, you should get the people that's had the first one, and then the second one, and then the third one, and then the fourth one, and then I know people have had 6, no 5. Sorry, I know people have had 5. I'm serious. Boosters and all that. What's that? Chris is bopping out, but no echo heard. There's no echo between me and you, is there?
Yeah.
I'm running 110 meg per second. I can see my wee thing down the bottom. That's at the speed. My internet speed's it.
Yeah. See,
Interesting,
something's messing us up.
Look, I'm in the house myself, right? Everybody's away on holiday and stuff like that. Every internet device in this house is turned off. The only thing that's on is this laptop. My phone's on 5G.
Yeah.
Well, 4G, whatever it's called, because I don't get a 5G signal here. So, what's that? If you aren't, you are messed up.
That's it. Hey, Stuttering John. See what I mean? Yeah. Fucking Nazis. Get this motherfucker. No, I don't tolerate the kind of those comments like that. Get the fuck off my stream, you racist piece of shit.
What did they say, actually? What did they say?
He automatic. See, this one I'm in. He's one of the ones that cropped up saying, "Oh, the Jews all having issues." So get the fuck off my stream, you needle dick. I do not tolerate that bullshit. No. Get away. You're part of the fucking problem.
It just shows you, ladies and gentlemen, they don't like, you know. And there's
no, I don't put up.
Good to see Pete.
Oh, how's it going, Pete? I don't tolerate that bullshit. No.
Yeah, it's because we're talking about the subject. What did he actually say? I didn't. I was looking at something.
Yeah, the GQP or something like that is not liking it. I'm sorry. We got to talking about Klaus Schwab. He's Catholic.
Do you know what I mean?
You ignorant, racist, needle dick. Get the fuck off my stream. And if I see any comments coming after me or my company, I will get my lawyers associated. Do not fuck with me. I'm done with pieces of shit like you.
You just get them. They're just idiots. They're just idiots, man.
I can track you. Don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
So if I go to disappear, ladies and gentlemen, we have a suspect.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I've got a feeling we've got protection on that kind of side, you know. But I honestly just don't understand the human race anymore. I really don't.
Yeah.
I honestly don't.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting that he started watching us. That was one of the new people that started watching us. And
he started trying some shit on one of my streams earlier yesterday.
Yeah. Look, obviously these people don't have a big brain. It's obviously a little pea they've got rattling about inside their empty space of a head, you know.
Yeah, and I'm fairly certain where he's monitoring crap.
Whereabouts?
Same groups that Elena flows in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not that sneaky, you morons.
It's fun out. You'll be able to find out his IP address and whatever, you know.
No, it'll only take me like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's good to see you, Son of the Naked Bigfoot, in the chat. It's good to see you, Pete. Thank you for joining us. And there's Dobby Sockets, well said, Dakota. As we were talking about Klaus Schwab and stuff like that, and
yeah,
I mean, I just don't know. I honestly think the world's went mad. I really do. I mean, the things that's happening right now, it's really, in Scotland they tried to pass a law where they would, and I look, I've got nothing against if you're homosexual or not, right? If you're gay, I've got nothing against that. But see, when they tried to pass a law for this really annoys me. A man can dress as a woman and go, and did they have this in the United States where a man can dress as a woman and go into their bathroom? Yeah, but they wanted to. So as men, wait for this, rapist men, right, could dress as women and go to a women's prison. I'm serious.
Well, certain states over here have that. There's one inmate in particular who's been trying to get the state of Idaho to pay for his transition, but it hasn't happened. He's also been indicted for rape.
I honestly just don't know.
Yeah.
Are you calming down now, Jack? The tenseness up. I can feel the rage run about you.
No, I'm sorry. I don't put up with that bullshit.
I know. They're obviously just a needle dick fucking arsehole. That's all they are. Get what I mean?
Yeah.
Get what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you want to come and visit us if you want. Come and visit us if you want. But they'll know they're keyboard warriors. They're sitting in their mother's basement as we speak with their Nazi flag flying in the background, you know?
Yeah.
Probably dressed in the SS uniform with the big black jackboots on.
More like they like to dress up as women in their closeted time and probably have a nice little boyfriend on the side that no one knows about. Most people who try to make those remarks are often closeted homosexuals themselves.
Did you get that? I was looking for my juice there. I couldn't find it.
I mean, look at half the preachers that tried to say homosexuality is a sin, yet they got a boyfriend on the side. They're married with kids, but they got a boyfriend on the side.
You know, but as we're saying about the New World Order and stuff. I mean, if we don't do anything soon, they are going to take this 15-minute city idea. I don't like. They're actually passing the Glasgow, which is quite close to me. They're actually bringing in these emission zones, which they've got in like London and that. And normal working people can't drive to their work, or it's got to cost them hundreds and hundreds of pounds every year just to drive a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. And then people are like, oh, but you don't need to drive 3 miles. Look, some people have to drive to the work because they need a car, right? It's the job that they do. You know, they might live in the countryside. Can't I mean? There's no a bus for there to there. Can't I mean?
Exactly.
And it's getting ridiculous. They're doing it to. What I have noticed is the price of gasoline's going up in America, and they're slowly doing to you what they were doing to us when our gasoline was quite cheap. And then they started bringing it in, and then they started bringing wee tax laws in, and they started bringing in MOT laws in, and car safety things in. I bet you in about 10 years in the United States, you're paying about $10, $15 a gallon.
Oh, shut up, Chris! You're going to incite a riot with that.
Well, I'm paying about $13, $14 right now a gallon. In the UK.
You'll incite a riot.
I mean, can you imagine paying $15 a gallon? Everybody's going to have to trade in their F-150s for a Toyota Prius.
Prius, you mean?
Prius or Prius? No, you get Priuses. You don't get a Prius. You never seen a Prius?
It's a Prius.
No. You're not getting me. You get a Toyota Prius, but you also get a Toyota Prius. A Toyota Prius is the hybrid electric one, right?
Aye.
But then you get another one, right? That's a more soaked up kind of petrol edition one, right? Look it up. My next door neighbour's got one.
I'm not much of a car guy.
What's that? Pete saying we use diesel and gas, and it's ridiculous. Diesel, the prices of diesel is skyrocketing. That's interesting what Pete says, because he's living in a farm kind of thing. And the price diesel is absolutely... It's mad. I know people that actually run their cars. This is mad. They actually run their cars on old chip pan oil.
Mm-hmm.
See if your car's old enough. I don't know if you can run it in modern engines. I don't know. But there's actually the farm behind me, and they run their tractors on this new diesel. It's biodiesel, and you have to add the AdBlue and all that kind of stuff to it, and they don't like it. I know they don't like it. What I've been told, it's mad. It's madness, and it's like this Just Stop Oil that's doing all these protests and stuff. It's fucking mad. I get thrown out a Just Stop Oil Facebook group because I says, why don't you go to China and protest? That's what I said. He says, oh, we can't go there because they'll put us in a labour camp. Exactly.
Yeah.
The police here will actually make them tea. They'll go and get them tea and coffee and stuff like that while they're sitting in the middle of the road.
Well, that just sounds like a very UK thing to do.
Oh, jolly oh! They're blocking the road. Let's make them a cup of tea. Oh, bloody fantastic, old boy.
Oh God, that sounds like overly British.
What do you like? I can keep up. Oh yes, and there's Dobby Sock in the chat. There, we used to use vegetable oil and our Dekia. There you go. That's kind of my posh voice. You know, that's it. That's what I can fit in with English tourists. You know, they don't just think I'm a mad Scottish guy. Well, I look that way, but
no, they still think you're mad if you go to do that voice.
You bloody hell! What's that? Son of the Naked Bigfoot Pete. I'm so pretty to be put in. Oh God, that's good one. Did you see that? Did you see what he put?
Oh God, that's definitely Mike's boy.
That's definitely Mike's boy. It definitely is.
Oh God.
So here a question for you: what's happening in the United States? What's the World Economic Forum got planned? The United States. Your mad president up to next? Is he still trying to find his way into the White House? Wondering about the garden? Still to now?
I don't know, man. It's hard to keep up with stupid. As we just saw in the chat tonight.
I honestly fucking don't know how he's still president.
Lordy. I don't know. It feels like elder abuse when it comes to Biden. It feels like elder abuse.
Did you see that video that was he was doing a press conference the other day there? I think it was on all the major networks. And I shit you know, it's his face. It looked like a rubber mask. Because the day before, he had like no lines on his forehead, right? And then the next day, he was doing this talk, and it looked like it was all these mad, crazy lines. It looked like rubber, like what do you call that? Rubber latex. Yeah. It looked like a latex mask he had on.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like I said, it's been said that presidents have used doubles for publicity since at least since Reagan.
He might be dead for all you know. I mean,
he could very well be. You never know. There's also a bunch of people that try to say Trump's dead.
I wouldn't say Trump's dead. He just likes to play golf.
I know. There's a lot of people that just like to spout off random crap just because so they feel included in the conversation.
Honest opinion. Who do you think your next president will be?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
If there is America. Because the way things are going, you know?
They're all reptilians.
Probably are.
Maybe. They're probably some sort of hybrid. Maybe. Yeah, but we can't throw anything out the door these days, man. You know? We can't throw anything out the door these days.
Look at Skinwalkers.
The 2020s are weird, man.
Look at Skinwalkers and all that. They can change into anything, nearly. But
yeah,
I mean, there's definitely a secret society behind a lot of the world leaders. Right? Mm-hmm. You notice how we've come off the kind of Nazi thing, our signals have all cleared up. Strange that, isn't it?
Yeah. Interesting how that turns out. Okay, I seriously got to reach out to that CIA guy because, see if he knows anything about the CIA infiltrating, the conspiracy websites and stirring up crap. Who knows? That Stuttering John, he's not even the real one. The real one got taken on by Howard Stern.
Mm-hmm.
Now that would be a guest to have on.
Oh, yeah. I do think there's a lot of people out there, and especially in the paranormal community, more the UFO community, alien community, that are placed there by the CIA.
You know what's interesting though? This is just an observation I made in the last few days. You can clearly tell they are eager to stir people up, like we just saw tonight.
Yeah.
Because Elena, as an example, she recently put out a video involving Enki. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, she fully admits that Enki, in the scope of, say, like the Christian religion, essentially played the role of Satan. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And Enlil, the bad one, was Yahweh. Naturally, they all go say, "Oh, Enki's a reptilian freak." Yeah, blah 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 blah. Oh, gay blah 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 blah. And the Jews and the fucking Muslims need shot in the face. Blah 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 blah. But they never actually make the more logical arguments. I would say, okay, that goes somewhere. It's like, I thought Enki was just ancient mythology.
Mm-hmm.
How is he real? Reasonable arguments being that obviously these types of things, it's kind of hard to get physical evidence. That goes to show they're not denying that he's out there.
Yeah.
I think people like this don't realize. People like this don't realize they reveal so much more about themselves than what they realize.
It's like Pete's dad, Mike the Naked Bigfoot, used to say, there's so many things in this world. So many things in this world that people have not discovered yet. Right? So many hidden things. And you think about the things that the government stashed away that they've got. Mm-hmm. You talk about, is it Iraq? They went into Iraq supposedly looking for weapons of mass destruction. It was looking for the technology that was left there from thousands and thousands of years ago. And you can look this up, guys. They actually went there and they went and got this technology, ancient technology. It was took away. And it makes you wonder who they've managed to contact when they've been fiddling about with this stuff.
Here's the thing. There's also another factor that goes into this and goes into the Federal Reserve. You ever notice how any country who does not have an official Federal Reserve affiliated bank, so I use that term loosely, is the one that often gets targeted for major wars?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And find it strange that I actually watched the thing about this the other night. It's quite interesting. It wasn't about aliens and that. It was about the Federal Reserve and stuff. That gold has been disappearing in large quantities all over the world.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, lots of it has just been disappearing. People don't know where it's going. They're saying, they're just putting it into vaults and stuff and that. Really? I mean, we had the Anunnaki. What did they mine when they were on our planet?
Gold.
What happens if we've made a deal with these guys? Well, what was the cabal that's in charge of the news made a deal with these guys, and we're giving them gold. Think about it, because what's the one that's under New York City, the big gold reserve? They say that used to at one point have billions and billions of dollars worth of gold in it, and now you're lucky if there's maybe $1 billion in it in gold. And it's the same with the Bank of England in London. At one point there'd be like hundreds of billions of dollars in gold, and they're lucky if there's like a £800 million worth of gold in it. Where's it all going? Where's it all going? And it's the same with the Chinese. Oh, their gold's mysteriously disappearing. And it's the same with the Russians. Oh, their gold's disappearing. Where's all this gold going? Are we trading this?
There's gold in just about every piece of electronics that we have. You can probably trash old Xboxes, TVs, computers, and mine a good sum of gold. But again, where's it going?
Like, in new technology today, there is not as much gold as there used to be in older technology. They don't use as much gold today in normal. And cell phones going back maybe 6 or 7 years, they're not using the same amount of gold. See, older computers are actually worth more money than newer computers that have basically been banned because of the high quantity level of gold in them. I've got two laptops there. I've got two laptops there that are 20 years old, right? I've had them for ages. They're in my shed, right? They don't even work anymore, right? But if I take the time, I could cut all the gold off of that, and I would get quite a decent bit of gold off them. You see where I'm going with this? And
there's certain people that make their living just grabbing old computers.
Somebody offered me. Somebody says I'll give you £40 for better the old computers, and I looked at them and I went, I don't know, maybe again because I think there's more gold value in them. But obviously, you have to strip them all down.
Exactly. They flip it.
Yeah.
They flip it. That's what they do.
Well, they actually showed it's really easy process. They just cut all the wee gold particles off and they put it into this container and they add a special chemical. And the chemical basically dissolves the gold, right? And then they strain out all the leftover bits. And see the other chemical, they boil it off and it's left with gold. And then they melt it down and do their thing to it. And see, like modern phones, like the iPhones and the new Samsung phones and that, they don't have as much gold in them as the older ones do. So, lithium's worth a lot of money too. Lithium, cobalt, all these kind of things. What's that? Smith Family Paranormal Investigation. Crypto is going to fall in price when the dollar falls in price. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's look. I'm going to say this. I think in the next month to next 2 months, the financial system around the world will probably collapse. I see Costco's going into liquidation. Did you hear about that?
Oh, it is.
Well, it's happening over here in the UK that they're shutting most of their UK stores because they can't afford to run them, and it's something I'll look it up. I've got that thing there about the Mars thing, but it's the Costco might be getting into liquidation because there's 1, 2, 3 Costco's near me and they're all shutting down. I've never been into a Costco's because I know you need to like a membership or something like that.
Yeah, I've gone in a few times and they got a pretty good selection of stuff.
Burger King's going the same road. Burger King's shutting.
Yeah,
they're stores.
Well, yeah, over here in the U.S., that one's actually. I actually know the story behind that. The major franchise owner behind that didn't exactly pay all of his necessary fees. That's why those stores are shutting down. They're trying to get something in place so those people don't lose their jobs, and hopefully they do. Because now is not a good time to lose your job.
I was told something the other day there, and I was shocked.
What's that?
I'm never going to buy a McDonald's ever again. I've not had a McDonald's for maybe 3 years, right? Because I obviously live in the countryside. I don't get to run the.
Yeah.
And you can look this up, guys. This is shocking. Do you ever notice when you go to the McDonald's and you get the fries are perfect. There's no blemishes in them.
Aye.
You know why that is, don't you?
Oh.
The McDonald's use a certain potato, right? And this certain potato, they've always used this, right? What they do is, right? Just listen to this. This is horrifying, by the way. This is horrifying. What they do is they spray the crops. Maybe Pete's still in the chat. I don't know if he could help me, but it's a type of a pesticide that they use to basically make these potatoes come out perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they put them into a holding area, these potatoes, right? And spray them with this other chemical. Now, this chemical is highly, highly toxic. Mm-hmm. Highly toxic. And they reckon it takes nearly a week for this toxicity to wear off each potato.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes and gets chopped up and fried. And people have actually done tests on potatoes, the fries they eat, and it's not looking good. And you talk about all these people with cancers and things wrong with them. It's shocking.
McDonald's has been at the center of several conspiracies, especially where more people started to out them that they don't actually use meat.
Well, I've heard conspiracies saying that they use humans and all that kind of.
No, it's tofu. It's soy meat. Mm-hmm. It looks like pink toothpaste before it's all processed and painted and cooked.
Good God, can you imagine the many E numbers that's in that?
Okay, here's another one for you. All right? The Simpsons, okay? Now, we all hear this conspiracy about the Simpsons somehow predicting the future, and it's come true several times that it's a running gag on the Simpsons to this day.
Yeah.
Their official remarks is that their writing team just happens to be full of some very, very smart people who pay attention to what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
No, just some smart people. Okay, the whole gym mats in burgers, a bit, right?
Yeah.
There would be scenes where they be grinding up gym mats and serving them as food. The McRib.
Aye.
The same chemical that they utilize in gym mats to keep their firmness, no matter how much you beat them around, is in the McRib. This has been proven true.
There's Son of the Naked Bigfoot, Pete. I keep calling you Son of the Naked Bigfoot. I keep calling Pete for now. Bugs I like good. Double. With cheese. Crickets on the side. See that? I will say this. I sat one day. They grow a lot of barley near me, right? And wheat. Mm-hmm. And I sat one day and I watched the farmer. He went into there. He went in. It was growing quite high. He went in and he sprayed it with stuff. Up and down he went. Up and down he went with this tanker, spraying it with stuff, right? And I was talking to him. I says, "What are you spraying that way?" And he says, "Oh, that's the pesticides. That keeps away the mice and stuff and nibbling on the stuff." And he says, "Oh, right. But then I said, "What's the other guy doing?" He says, "Oh, that's a different type of pesticide." He says, "That one keeps away like the bugs and stuff like that." And I says, "What's that going into?" And it's going into like making beer. A lot of it goes to the process to make beer, hops and stuff like that. And the wheat goes to make bread, and obviously. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm like, fuck me, there's some amount of chemicals they use.
Yeah. No,
I'm just typing in. Trump being the president. They did predict Trump being his president. Here's
the thing. Here's the thing. With that Trump thing, he's been talking about running for president for at least 40 odd years now. And he said he would run as Republican because he felt that was the stupidest demographic.
Who predicted it before The Simpsons? Is him becoming president? Come on.
Before The Simpsons? Okay, come on, old man. You're almost old enough to be my father.
People in the chat, or maybe Chad or whoever that is, Linda or Toby, will probably. You ever seen a series called Quantum Leap?
Quantum Leap did that?
There was one.
Yes, Scott Bakula. I'm familiar with it.
And he was a taxi driver. He was a taxi driver in New York, and Donald Trump dad got into the car, and there was a wee boy. There was a wee kid, and that was Trump. Donald Trump. The kid was Donald Trump. Well, obviously, no, then it was just a kid actor. But they were just acting, and they says, "Who are you?" And they went, "Oh, we're the Trumps." And he says, "Oh, you're going to be president one day." And the wee boy went, "Oh," like that, and they drove away.
It's like, yeah, I'm with Dobby. I've heard of it. My mom is a huge Scott Bakula fan, but I've never physically seen it.
Star Trek again, you see.
Well, I also know he did NCIS New Orleans.
That's right, he did.
That's mostly what I've seen him in.
But it's not just The Simpsons that's predicted that. Yeah.
Well,
there you go. A family love Quantum Leap. Yeah.
You know, here's the thing. This was a random TikTok video, and it was this woman reading out a Doctor Who novel. Okay, when she mentioned it, it got me to thinking how likely a situation this could be because of the number of authors and creators who swear that their works, what they thought, who swear they thought their works of fiction came to life. Okay, he essentially said that basically it was a bit about Star Wars actually being true, that George Lucas, he didn't understand that he was actually getting telepathic messages and that most humans can't really tell the difference, which is something that is explored in parapsychology circles today. And that in order to just kind of get those messages out of his head, because in order to get him to stop bothering him, he had to do something. He had to write it down. He had to create it.
Yeah.
So what if, hear me out, being that this is Bald and Bonkers and we don't exactly have limits to the types. Being that this is Bald and Bonkers and we have no limits of what we won't talk about on the show, considering. Who's to say? Now, obviously, as people are writing, they sometimes go into kind of a meditative state, right? Mm-hmm. They aren't actually getting psychic messages. They don't realize that's the case, and they just like, oh, that is a wonderful, that would make a good show, and they think nothing else of it. Then all of a sudden, a few years down the line, Trump becomes president. There's this one guy who wrote for Planet of the Apes, the comic book series. He was writing in a hostage situation. A gorilla has this woman, has a gun up to her head. Next thing he knows is this is a true story. Next thing he knows, his wife is screaming in the other room. He runs out. There's this big-ass dude holding a gun up to his wife's head in the exact same way that he depicted in the comic book drawing he literally just wrote. So, again, who's to say? All these writers allegedly predicting the future, they're getting some sort of secret intel. They're not actually just latent psychics and not realizing it. There's been several cases of that happening. I've had it happen a couple times.
Also, the Simpsons lately have predicted, what you call it, a nuclear war.
They've been talking that one for some time. Because they notice the same patterns we are.
Yeah.
So Simpsons, you want to hire us? Wait, that means we would hurt.
The Flat Earth Societies said that the Simpsons predicted the Flat Earth. Did you not ken that?
Yeah, they also...
Because of the dome, main the one where Homer went and got all the toxic waste and dumped it into the water. And the Patadolo.
The Simpsons movie, the show Under the Dome that was based off of the Stephen King novel made that joke.
Yeah. Well, Flat Earthers said that's because that's the try to tell us that the Earth's flat.
Not granted, media would be a good way to slowly introduce certain concepts to the public.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same sort of logic as a teacher putting on a movie for kids in her class. Now, granted, most of them is because they didn't want to deal with lessons that day. It's like, guess what, class? Movie day.
I'll give you something to do in the chat, right? I'll give you something to try, right? And honestly, it's actually quite disturbing. I want you to take your phones out after when we're no live, obviously. And I want you to put in the dates on your phone, like say, like go to Google, right? And put 2024. And then put it on images and hit search, right?
Well,
and then
it.
keep doing that, put it on 2025, put it on images and search. And it's really interesting what pops up. It's like apocalyptic pictures and stuff like that. It's really weird. See, it's if any of you have got a phone sitting next to you.
If you say it's apocalyptic photos, it's pictures of Donald Trump. I figured, what the fuck? Let's do
it. There's 2027 I'll put in, right? Because I've already done it, obviously, right? And then you put images. And then look at that. It shows you a picture of the planet burning. Right? That's 2027. Shows you a space station. Your life in 2027. Look at the future, and it shows you a planet basically burning. Right? And you keep doing this. It's actually somebody in TikTok showed me, right? And you keep doing this, and you keep going, and it does get weird, like 2028. And then you search images, and then it shows you cities, and then it shows you a doomsday book 2028 by Thomas somebody, something to midnight, a doomsday one, which is quite interesting. And then it starts talking about an asteroid. Right. So then you go to 2029. I did this all the way up to 2040, and it's honestly, it's very interesting what comes up.
Well,
look, when I get to 2029, right, all it is asteroids. That's all it is. 2029. Asteroid.
There's a major one that's supposed to be similar in
size
to the one that took out the similar. It's supposed to be similar in size to the one that took out the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That has its course charted to make impact with Earth. But here's the thing. There's a lot. There's at least 100 different asteroids that are allegedly supposed to hit the Earth on a somewhat daily basis. NASA barely catches 99 of them after they already pass.
And then, if you scroll below the asteroids, it's UFOs and aliens. Loads of aliens and UFOs.
Yeah.
And then if you go to 2030, it gets more interesting.
2024 is supposed to be when around that time frame is when the more human ones are supposed to show up.
Yeah. 2030. And it shows the world all like really super realistic kind of thing, you know? What's that Son of the Naked Bigfoot? The PPT. What's that he's going on about? Is that something as that? I have no
clue.
Pete,
whatever you do, don't look that up.
It's like, what is it?
I don't know, but I have a feeling, considering who it's coming from, don't look it up. Oh dear God, Pete, what did you do?
I'm going to look it up. Hey, his dad used to have me looking up crazy things. His dad would send me links and I would click on them. We would just sit late at night talking to his dad, and his dad would be like, "Hey, Chris, check this link out," and I'd press it, and it was like a crazy picture with this evil kind of thing looking at me, And then he says, see if it, and then he said to me, he says, see if anything weird happens there the next week, message me back. And I was having weird dreams about this dog staring at me with big grinning and sharp teeth and all that.
Yeah, it is kind of funny when you think about it, just going back over the history, all the times that we've had Mike on. He was more willing to goof off and do stupid shit to you, but for some reason with me, the shit tied to him set off alarms with
I'm a lovable
shit.
person. I'm a lovable person. I don't know. Mike
I don't know.
Me. He just liked me. I don't know. I like Mike, and the two of us used to talk late into the early morning.
You just have a funny voice.
We went there. Mike was a very interesting person. I mean, he would send he would send me random pictures, and then I would send him random pictures, right? And then he did that. What was that, Pete? What was that? You reposted it last week, I think it was, and it was a picture. It was a dog sitting grinning, and if you look at it, you have dreams of what's it called again? Wait, I'll have to go look at Twitter. He's got to look at this, guys, right? This is good, honestly. I need to go to Mike's thing. Pete posted that. We posted it a couple of days ago. Where is it? It's a thing. It's like a dare kind of thing. Oh, wait. Where is it? I hate it when I talk about something. That's it. That's it. Thank you very much, Pete. That's it there. Aye. I'm trying to find the picture for everybody.
Well, why you gotta give?
It's there.
It's hard. Bald and Bonkers will not be sponsoring any therapy bills.
Right, listen, it's already happened
now
to me.
show
So
it.
I'm kind of immune to this now.
Here you
because it's happened to me. Right?
Floor's all yours to screw people over.
There you go. So if MD sees that, look at that. If MD sees that, please visit Mike the Naked Bigfoot's profile and leave a comment for Pete to answer you back. Right?
Oh dear Lord.
Honestly, honestly, it's not that. He showed me that. Mindy did the story about where he found the pottery face.
Yeah.
When he was raking about. Aye. I had weird dreams after that. I had really funky weird dreams after that. And I says to him, like 3 days later, I says to Mike, Mike, what was that, by the way? And I says, I had really weird dreams. I was like, there was drums playing and there was this guy chasing me through the jungle and all that, wearing this mask. You have to follow the rules or else. So you have to go and visit. Oh, Christ, I better read you the rules, wouldn't I? Yeah. What's the rules, Pete? Go and type in the room. What's the rules? So that. What? Have you got Christopher like? You change that back. You. That's it. Mike. Point him. I want him pointed.
I'm sorry. Intrusive thoughts 1. Okay.
That is that. If you ever wanted to visit me, Mike, and you can do this communication there, I want you to visit Dakota tonight and scare the living shit out of him.
Oh God. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. I already stalked our little friend from earlier, and apparently he's been known to hop on random channels and stir up shit in order to drum up publicity for whatever venture he's trying to do. He's already been taken down before. Believe it or not, I don't like firing off, okay? I'm a big guy. I don't want to have to be forklifted out to go to the hospital because I went down. I'm trying to relieve my blood pressure here.
No,
I'm not even 30.
All your dad put, Pete, was spread the word with the picture. What is the rules? Again, I can't remember the rules. Pete.
Oh, God.
What is the rules? Look, if you see a demonic dog chasing you about the room, go and talk to Pete. I'm sure he'll help you.
Here's what you do. It's all about mental visualization.
There you go. There you go. Send him a pic of a smiling dog. There you go.
So spread the word was the rule.
Spread the word. So basically, if you see it, if MD sees it, right, just see that picture. Go to Naked Burger and share it with somebody. You have to share the pic with someone else. So, oh, there you go. I'm immune now. I'm immune. I've shared it with the world. It's his fault. He let me do it.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to stop you.
Pretty true. Come on, we're keeping Mike's memory alive. Just think of the laughter he's going to be having as everybody's screaming in their beds at night. Seeing that,
you know, and I say this with all due respect.
What's that?
I often wonder if Mike, just his personality as a whole, would have been how Aleister Crowley was in life. Because he wasn't necessarily the most evil man. People were trying to say Mike was evil. But Crowley, he just like fucking with people's heads.
Mike was one of the most interesting people I have ever met in my entire life.
Oh, no doubt.
And I probably will never, ever meet somebody like that again. Obviously, I'm still waiting to meet Pete. And hopefully he'll join us one night.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I hope so, because I just thought of something. You were the one to point this out. Remember our former associate that looked a little too much like Mike?
Who?
AJ?
Really?
The one that always disappears? Oh, that's a sign. That's a sign. Oh, no. No. Remember we had AJ and Mike on? I know he wasn't evil. He just liked to screw with people. He wasn't evil. I'm not saying anything bad about Mike.
No. Mike was honestly absolutely amazing. I don't know how they came with it. I actually asked him, he says to me, he put in Twitter, he says, I'll answer any question. And I had 18 questions and says, how did you know everything? And then he tell us how he actually told us he made a deal with like a lower. I don't know the way around about it because of the voodoo stuff. And
low up.
And he told us how he knew so much. And I'll tell you a video to watch with Mike, right? And if it's still up, is it still up, Pete? The one where he does it's like a banishing ritual to do with the thing in the woods, the thing that was screaming in the woods. And he does a ritual. And he actually, you see him, he holds his horn out of a fucking candle. And you can hear it sizzling. It was, and I'm going to swear again here, it was fucking sizzling. And the smoke was coming off his horn. And he never flinched once. Not once.
Mm-hmm.
How is that possible?
Well, there's several old practices that help you redirect pain.
That was absolutely amazing what he could do.
You know, that actually just gives me an idea for a show. We're gonna try to find a guest for it because there's no way you and I would be able to do it justice. Yeah, you hear about these Buddhist monks who, were able to completely cool their body temperatures. It drew so much attention that the CIA went to train with Buddhist monks to try to learn how to do this stuff. They were able to levitate, do all this stuff. Some historians actually believe that the miracles we associate with Jesus Christ, I know I'm getting into religion here, I'm talking historical facts, okay? That many of the miracles Jesus was able to perform is because he studied from Buddhist monks during a brief period in his life. Like the 30 missing years of Jesus' life, he was towards India. So that I honestly would love to have some sort of discussion about that on the show and get a guest that would know that, because that just reminded me of that.
Honestly, Ken, who I would like to talk to, I would honestly, if you're still in this room, I would love to interview you, Pete, because I would love to know more about what your dad did that night.
You,
That
hey,
ritual, that was.
Pete's got an open invite.
Yeah, you've
Pete's
got
got an open invite.
You're welcome here anytime, Pete. Because that was just. I actually was talking to Mike about it. I says, "Do you want to come on and talk about it?" And then he turned right no well, and sadly he passed away. And I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
It was. It's gonna office. It's actually really sad for me because I was talking to him like the night before, kind of thing, and it was just I don't know. It was like because it was Halloween. It was near Halloween. That was his favorite time of the year. That was Mike's kind of thing, you know.
That's what you was hoping to push for.
And honestly, Pete, if you're there, you're welcome to come on to your shows anytime. Honestly, anytime.
Awesome. I wasn't saying your dad was evil. He was definitely the goofy grandpa of Bald and Bonkers. That I say that. That's the way I know to put him.
I'll tell you what. What was the episode we were talking about fakers and the paranormal?
Oh God, the paranormal titties incident.
Pete, if you want to die in a mad craze of laughter, right?
Oh.
And you want to like roll about your living room floor, right? You have to watch. What was that called? What was that one called?
Oh God, what was that one? Oh God,
and your dad was going on about paranormal titties. Oh, he was talking about the women in the ghost hunting community that would go, "A spirit just touched my nipple." Oh, I honestly, I couldn't. I was just like, I just couldn't stop laughing. It was just going on it was going on about Zach Bagans' day because he didn't like him.
What one was it? I'm literally scrolling through old episodes to see if I can see which one just jogs me.
I'll fund that for you, Pete, and I'll fund that episode for you, Pete, on Bald and Bonkers, and I will send that link to you because
it's like was that the anniversary open panel that we did? That was the last one he was on with us.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that one. It was before that. It was well before that. It was. Oh my God! Can end in the chat remember that night? It was. Oh my God! It was just ridiculous.
No, I need to find a way to build like a sorting system.
Mm-hmm. Because that was epic. That was one of the most epic shows I think I've ever done.
That I
can you remember when that was? Let's see. Let's have a look.
I have an idea.
What?
I have an idea that'll help us.
I'll find it. If it's a mission beyond life itself, I will find it. He was on the occult in the Nazi regime ways. He was on that, Ian.
Occultism, yeah. Well, you got to remember. Well, dude, I just realized something.
What?
All right, now for those of you who don't know, because we do have a lot of newer people that joined us, Bald and Bonkers is listed on IMDb. Kind of a free marketing strategy we do, and all of our guests are listed on it. Don't you think it's funny? Paranormal fraud.
Paranormal frauds. There, it's there. Right, Pete. I'm going to send you a link.
But here,
you need to watch this show.
Here's an interesting little coincidence. Mike was on with us for 13 episodes exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that? Did you say that 13 what?
13 episodes. We had Mike on.
That's crazy.
That's funny to me. That's funny. Oh, lordy. Wow, I didn't realize how much over time we are.
I know.
That's what happens when you have fun. So, Christopher, what are your plans for the week?
Well, I was away filming. Today. I was away and I did some live pictures and stuff like that. And I don't know. I've got my garden today. I've got the rest of my garden today, tomorrow, and weeding.
Oh,
It's never ending. It just never ends, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God, being that tomorrow's Memorial Day, I have tonight off. So
Yeah.
from work.
Yeah.
Anyway,
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight. If we disappear, the Nazis got us, and they're doing terrible things to Dakota.
yeah.
And for that person that was in, you're obviously a dick. But you know that person.
Apparently he's raised hell for a lot of people.
Was it? How'd you know?
I was looking him up while we were on air. Apparently he likes to go around channels to promote himself by raising hell like that. It's like, no, we're not. If any of you got to follow him, we don't want you here. Yeah. That is absolutely despicable behavior.
Yeah. So, guys, remember check us out, subscribe, share, and like. Have a fantastic week, and we will see you next Saturday and Sunday night.
Yes.
You never
As for
strange things.
As for whatever topic may come up, you never know. But maybe will have something to do with this these tests being fired off to test essentially we happened to catch this just before we went on, so we didn't exactly have too much time to look into it. But apparently they have been experimenting by sending signals to and from Mars to simulate what it would be like to potentially make contact. We've been talking that 2024, 2025 may be a time where the biggest disclosure event in human history, in human memory, takes place. So why are they firing these tests now?
Maybe so they can basically say, "Oh, we've accidentally picked something up. We've found a way to pick something up."
A way to twist the narrative to make it look like they're the ones in control.
Yeah, exactly.
All it is good marketing.
Yeah, it's good marketing. So everybody,
something to leave you with.
You can check us all out, and remember, check out Pete's channel to. Honestly, check his channel because soon he will be posting videos. So catch you all later, dudes. Stay safe.
Yep.
See you all soon. And if strange ghostly figures visit you in the night, send them to Dakota.
That wouldn't be anything new in my life.
No.
A little shout out for Pete there before we go.
Thanks for tuning into the Bald and Bonkers Show. If you enjoyed the show and want to show your support, head over to our website at baldandbonkers.net. There, you'll find our merch, services, and more. Thanks for being part of the Bald and Bonkers family, and we'll see you on the next episode.